Thank you. Now to our election coverage. Early voting has started in Texas, which means you can now head to the polls. And still this year, voters will have to bring identification.
Yeah, both the Republican and Democratic parties are revving up their campaigning. Natalie Granda has more on their plan for the next couple of weeks. Natalie?
Larry, Lisa, it's just a couple of weeks until the November 4th election day, but that doesn't mean voters cannot start casting in their vote into the polls. The polls are now open for early voting in Texas until the 31st, and with the election day close, both the Republican and Democratic Party are making sure to get residents to the polls. I spoke to both parties on their plan for the next few days and what they had to say on getting candidates to the Panhandle.
We want to remind you that early voting has begun.
These are some of the calls residents will hear more of now with the election coming up. Voters can now cast their votes with the start of early voting in Texas, and both parties say they're going to continue their campaign.
The primary way to do that is going to be through telephone.
Knocking on doors and face-to-face.
There's been block walks going on.
With the new Texas ID law, voters must bring an acceptable form of ID like a driver's license, personal identification, or a passport. While Republicans think this will eliminate voter fraud, Sylvia Perkins from the Democratic Party says it's not a real thing.
I have never seen any fraud. There is no fraud.
Both parties say they have had a good turnout of candidates coming up to the Panhandle. But as far as Amarillo being overlooked for candidates, they had very different opinions.
I don't feel that way at all in my observation, and you know, they've done a good job. I mean, they come up here and it's an important part of the state.
We've not had any candidates here in years to run, so yes, I can understand. It's not an easy place to campaign.
Both the Republican and Democratic parties say they are just trying to get voters out to the polls.
Just to remind people to the importance of getting out to vote.
Vote for the person that will do the right thing for us.
Potter County voters must vote at the Santa Fe building, but Randall County voters have several options, both in Canyon and in Amarillo. And you can find a list of all those poll offices as well as what voters need to bring with them on our website at connectamarillo.com. Live from the Kennedy Broadcast Center, I'm Natalie Granda, Pro News 7.
Thanks, Natalie.